Is it on? Okay. So this is more of a talk story video this week. Oftentimes when I talk about YouTube videos with people, the first thing they ask is, bruh, how you get time for make YouTube videos? You get 2 kids and 1 job. And sometimes I sort of reflect and I wonder how I have time to do it too. But you like know the real secret? It's this. YouTube takes time. And I'm not just talking about time to film and edit and answer YouTube comments and all the other things. Making YouTube videos takes time because you need time to think so that the videos that you create are fun and meaningful. You know, it's kind of like when you let the chicken sit in the teriyaki sauce overnight. I mean, it just takes time, but whew, the burger tastes good. From the months of December of this past year up until mid-February of this year, it was really hard to make videos. And by make videos, again, I mean to write, to film, to edit, to do the thumbnails, all the things. And it's not necessarily because of a lack of time to do those things, but more so I lacked time to just think. I was working so hard with my day job that I just didn't have the time to just let my mind wander, which is where some of my best ideas come from. Like last year, I made this video about not eating rice in Hawaii for 30 days. And I wanted to just do it to see how it would impact my health, if I could see any noticeable differences. And I liked that video because it was something that I had thought about for a while, and I was trying to figure out how I would make it work here because in Hawaii, we eat rice with pretty much every meal. And frankly, when I made the video, I didn't think anybody would really care all that much, but it got, I think, about 76,000 views last year, and still very surprised that people were so interested in this topic. But besides the views, what I'm most proud of the video is the fact that I was able to really share something that I had experienced and think about all the things that were going through my mind as I went 30 days with no rice here. Another video that I enjoyed making last year was how to eat a plate lunch, because I had been thinking about this since like 2021, so about 3 to 4 years. I've been thinking about this topic on how to explain how locals, but more specifically, how I eat a plate lunch, because there's a pattern to it, and I noticed this pattern. And I just figured I wasn't the only person who noticed this. And sure, the video just got about 4,000 views, but so what? I enjoyed making it, and it gave me a very good excuse to eat another zip pack for lunch. So pretty much all the videos from December to about mid-February were challenging for me to make. Not that I'm not proud of them. I'm very proud of the videos and the topics that I talked about, but when I look back, I lacked that time to really let these ideas sit. But around mid-February, things changed because I did have a little bit more time with my job, but more importantly, I remember reading this article in The Atlantic, and as I read the article, it was so well written, it was so interesting, and it just seemed to refresh my mind. It's kind of like when you're doing yard work outside and it's so hot and you're sweating, and after you go inside the house and all you want is that nice cold cup of water, and you drink it and so refreshing. And it was that well-written article and that time that inspired me to make the video about how Hawaii's local culture is changing. And while we can acknowledge that our family structure is strong, it's really at the community level where we're struggling, where maybe we're not as close as a community as we once were, and that's maybe why things feel so different. I'm glad some people enjoyed it and a lot of really great comments on that video, but more so for me as the creator, I'm really proud of the process, the time and the thought and the reflection that for me went into that video. YouTube is not my job, nor would I really want it to be. I like my day job. I actually like what I do, and I think what it helps for these videos to do is it allows me time to kind of stay grounded, to deal with normal people problems and normal people issues and just everyday life. My job separates what I do for a living with what I enjoy talking about, things that I'm passionate about. I think very few people are able to make a living doing what they're passionate about, but I feel fortunate that I get to do a job that affords a living, but I also have time to do what I'm passionate about off to the side. I'm currently reading Mark Twain's autobiography. I'm in volume 2. It's taken me so long to get through this book because it's 3 books. It's very long. But I'm at this part now in volume 2 where he's talking about his writing process and how his manuscripts for his books will often sort of get to almost like a midway point, and then he's forced to put them away. So for a lot of his famous works, he writes up to a point because that's as much as a story will write itself, and he realized that he has to put it away in a drawer somewhere, and he just lets it sit, forgets about it. And during that time is when his tank gets filled with. So when he returns to the manuscript, it seemingly writes itself. Now the result of this is there's a lot of half-finished manuscripts that he was once excited about, and after a certain point, he just puts them aside, often burning the manuscript so he's not tempted to try and force something later on. But the good ones, the really, really good ones, he brings back. And he returns to them filled and excited, and he finishes them. And for myself, I find that to be true as well. Some of my best ideas, my favorite ideas, they've been sitting in my folder since 2020, 2021, 2022. All these ideas about Hawaii. And I outline ideas, things that I want to talk about, but sometimes it's just not ready. And so they just sit there waiting for me. And eventually I'll return to them. And so I bring up all of this on the 6th anniversary of this YouTube channel. Been making videos a long time, but on this channel in particular, it's a passion project of mine. I started this YouTube channel because I kept asking myself, how come nobody's talking about this stuff from a local's perspective? And so I finally set out doing it. And so if you're out there and you're thinking about making YouTube videos about Hawaii or whatever, it could be about anything, hobby or interest, I would just suggest give yourself time. Not just time to make the videos, but really time to think about the videos that you're making so that they can be fun, so that you can find something worth talking about. I know that the content that I make is not for everyone. It's not silly or entertaining in that sense. Instead, the content that I make, I hope, inspires people, gets them to think about things, and brings us all together, whether we're local here or local elsewhere, whether we visited Hawaii or we are thinking about visiting Hawaii, whether we had moved here before and maybe we're not local, but we still feel connected to Hawaii. By gathering people here, we can have discussions about Hawaii, about this place. And for me, I'm really proud of the content and videos that I make. Whether they get a few thousand views or tens of thousands of views, I'm proud of the topics and I'm proud of the discussion, the comments. Those are so important for me as a creator because I find those more interesting sometimes than the video that I made. Hearing other people's thoughts, not just my own, because I know I'm not always right. But for me, the point isn't to always be right, but just to open the discussion, to hear what other people have to say. And I hope that people through these videos, as much as is possible, can feel that the topics and things that I talk about on this channel, I care about. I genuinely am interested in, and I have an opinion, sometimes not fully formed, but I'm at least thinking about these things, and I'm hoping that other people are thinking about them too. So if you found this channel, I hope that you enjoy the types of videos that I make. Hopefully you found them interesting, or at the very least, got you to think about Hawaii in maybe a different way. So thanks for watching, and aloha.